Well, tonight we take a closer look at President Trump's executive order on advancing international religious freedom and its importance to U.S. diplomatic efforts. Issued in June, the order states in part, religious freedom for all people worldwide is a foreign policy priority of the United States, and the United States will respect and vigorously promote this freedom. Joining me now on Skype to talk more about the role that this executive order will play going forward is Dr. Kent Hill, Senior Fellow for Eurasia, Middle East, and Islam at the Religious Freedom Institute. Dr. Hill, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for being with us.
Glad to be here.
So let's talk about the connection between religious freedom and national security.
You know, there's a kind of a common misunderstanding that religious freedom is a kind of niche issue that's for, it's of value to the religious minorities in question, but doesn't really have anything to do with national, international security. But it couldn't be further from the truth. The fact is that when religious freedom exists, all sorts of other societal goods follow, including peace and stability. So if you can get a society to have a religious freedom, they will invariably be less of a threat, not only to their own citizens, but to citizens of other countries.
Well, Dr. Hill, as you know, the executive order provides new resources for programs to advance religious freedom. I know you spoke today with the acting administrator of USAID. What did he have to say, and what do you expect to see accomplished?
Yes, acting administrator Barsa was very excited about the opportunity to play a major role in helping to roll out this important executive order that came out a few weeks ago. $50 million are going to be expended to this, so it's not just words. But in terms of what we talked about in terms of what will come out of it, one of the things that will come out of it is training for USG personnel on why religious freedom matters and how to advance it. It's the simple sort of thing of explaining why religious freedom matters, about the religious freedom dynamic in various countries, how to promote it, how to program for it, and they've got time limits on when they must come up with a game plan to make it happen. They're thrilled about this and want to see it happen. And Samal Norquist, who's the point person for USAID on religious freedom, was on the call as well on the webinar, and she was very specific about things they want to do and the difference it's going to make.
Well, this order also requires a strategic implementation plan to be presented within 180 days. That's basically late November following the presidential election. What impact might that have, do you think, on the promotion of religious freedom?
Well, it's sad to say, but in recent months and years, the state of religious freedom around the world has declined. So anything that can retard that, can stop it, can begin to reduce it, reverse it, will be of value. I mean, it's hard to do that at a time when, if anything, things are getting much worse. If you think about the explosion in Lebanon, and one of the most stable and religiously free countries in the Middle East, it's very disconcerting. This is one of the few places that Shia and Sunni and Christians and Druze and others had managed to get along relatively well. But what we know from the past, what we know after the fall of Saddam Hussein, is that whenever there's chaos, sectarian violence, one of the necessary and always predictable consequences is the demise of religious freedom and the harm to religious minorities. So that's why Administrator Barsa had gone to Lebanon just within the last few days to meet with religious leaders, in part to see what they can do to help bring stability in this chaotic situation right now.
Well, Dr. Hill, thank you so much for your time. Dr. Kent Hill, Senior Fellow for Eurasia, Middle East, and Islam at the Religious Freedom Institute. Thank you again for your insights.
Good to be with you.